Welcome to week 13. This week you begin the proposal assignment. This assignment asks that you work together in a group, and that's a lot of what the grade for this proposal will be. It's how you worked with your group, how you were able to divvy up tasks, and then also if you were able to get to the final product. So you're going to look at this PowerPoint for Chapter 3 called Working in Teams, and it says that there are roles on teams, and so we'll look at that in just a second. And you're going to go through these steps to make a work plan for your group. So the groups that were assigned were from the 4 winning proposals. Let me click on this so we can see those. So you click on week 13. You'll see you're going to have an individual assignment this week about the objectives and outcomes for the proposal. And we'll talk about that in a second. You're going to create a work plan with your group that goes through steps 3, 4, and 5, and 6. And then it was supposed to put in the groups here, and it didn't. So I'm going to go over here and find them. Sorry about that. So the proposals that won were Disability Connection, Southern Pines Animal Shelter, Transition Housing, and Wikipedia. And inside each of these groups, this one doesn't have it here, but I will get it there in just a second. There's a description of the winning proposal, and then under the file exchange, I've put in the files you'll need to complete this assignment, including a sample work plan. And you'll use this group space to plan your assignment, which is this work plan. And in the work plan, you'll define what each team member will do. And break up what has to be done, particularly on the parts of a grant. If you look at this, this is a really easy, I think, very legible breakdown of what a proposal is and how it works. And if you scroll on down and read through this, also it has sample proposals, which I think are really, really useful. You scroll on down. It goes to the common sections in the proposals and what they do. Your introduction, the background, the benefits and feasibility of the project, the description of the proposed work, the method or procedure of how that work will get done, a schedule, qualifications, costs and resources required, which is basically kind of like a budget, and the conclusion. And that brings them back to the positive aspect of your project. So people will need to sign up for each of those sections and talk about why they can do them and when they will have them done on the timeline that you're working in. So then you'll create a project calendar as part of your work plan. And the proposal is due in full in April 26th. It's still a rough draft. You're going to have time to revise that before the end of the semester. But the individual sections, those ones that I just went through, and they are typically written by an individual, are going to be due April 22nd. Working from the above deadlines and the necessary tasks, plan backwards and create a timeline of what will be done and who will do it. And this should happen in the blog portion of your group. And then you're going to write out that work plan. And there's an example in your textbook, and I've also provided one here that's more like a table. And we can look at that really quickly. I didn't need to download it. Sorry. I wish it would just open them. That would make me happier. So let's look at that. Hurry, word, hurry. So you break it down to goals, which you're going to get those goals from the discussion assignment this week. Everything kind of works together. What collaboration needs you'll have, what resources need, date, due, or frequency, any obstacles, the solution, and then I would say you're going to assign it to somebody right over here. And so you could use that, or you can use the memo format that's in your textbook 51 through 52, and you'll need to decide that as a group. I've also attached what I think any reminders that you might need, the proposal PowerPoint, the proposal assignment, and Chapter 3. Okay, and that was assigned to groups, sorry. So if you go down here, working your groups there to get that done. So let's go back to week 13. And let's look at the objectives and outcomes. Okay, so this is a discussion, and you're going to review, and it's an individual assignment to get you thinking about the purpose of the proposal. First, reread the proposal assignment and identify your groups. Check your group membership option. Second, read your group's elevator pitch. I'm going to paste those in right here as soon as I get done here. I meant to already do that, and I apologize it's not done. Now, keeping that information in mind, identify the objectives and outcomes of the proposal. This will turn into the first section of the proposal that you actually write. It's important to take the time here to identify the objectives and outcomes so you can divide the task and write your proposals. Your objectives should match your outcomes. For example, an objective is something you want to do, and an outcome is what you will do to achieve that, right? So if my objective is I want to raise awareness of child hunger in the South, then I'm going to do this to get that done. Research the statistics and stories on child hunger, compile them into an advertising campaign for the Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If I want to develop a plan for addressing child hunger, then I'm going to do this. Identify available food resources for needy families, advertise those resources through schools, churches, and hospitals. So basically, you have something you want to do. You want to provide adequate housing to help soldiers transition from war zones to the home. So what will you do in order to do that? Will you create housing? Will you use available existing housing? How will you staff that housing? What will help them transition? Then you'll post your objective and outcomes for your project by Wednesday. Now you're doing this as an individual so that you can all kind of get your input in on the proposal and what you think the objectives and the outcomes should be given the group's elevator pitch. And then you'll compile those to help you write the proposal. So I hope all that makes sense and how this is going to work together. Now, we're getting towards the end of the semester. We have this proposal assignment and then a portfolio where you just choose from your assignments that you've already done, the memos, this proposal, and then write a letter on what you've learned about technical writing and what you've learned about yourself as a writer and a student. And that's it. So I hope you'll stick with me. If you have questions about this week, let me know. I'm going to fix the things I saw here that I thought were in here that are not. And have a great, great week. And also there are some attached examples of objectives and outcomes that I think are pretty cool. Okay, let me fix that also. That I think are pretty cool because they do it as like a flow chart, and I'll make sure that works for you. Okay, that's all. Have a great week, and I will look for your work.